What's up, guys? It's your boy, and I am back to talk to you today. First thing first, I want to say happy holidays to anybody who's celebrating Christmas right now with your family, or wherever you celebrating, whatever you're doing to celebrate, even if it's just a Monday for you, bro. Like, happy holidays. And y'all already know I don't really like the long intros, so I'm trying to make this really brief for you. But this video is going to be talking about the importance of leaving your hometown. And as you guys know, I just recently moved to New York. It's been about 9 months now. And I made a couple videos discussing, my move and the process and why I did what I did and blah, blah, blah. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So I'm gonna just be real. I've heard it all the time. So many people have said, move out of your hometown. If you want to see growth, if you want to try something different, you need to change the scenery. And it was beginning to sound really cliche to me, partially because I just kind of felt that if I wanted to grow, while you are a product of your environment, at the same time, it's like I thought growth was like internal. And just me being in the same city that I've been in my whole life, I don't know, I guess I was making so much growth in the city that I was in that I didn't really think it would make a big difference if I left or not. But after being out here in New York for, all these months, I can totally see the difference in my energy, in my thought process, in my everything, my existence. It's like, it's changed, you know what I mean? And it's changed for the better. And let me just share some of what I learned along the way. When you are, let's say you were raised in Idaho, okay? You was living in Idaho your entire life. You went to school with the same people for pretty much your entire, career. Like, there are people that you went to college with that y'all went to the same kindergarten together. You know what I mean? I mean, of course it's gonna be mixed with different schools on top of that, but like pretty much everybody knows everybody, and it's been that way. It's comfortable. Sometimes it can be a little boring. Sometimes, you wonder like what else is out there, blah, blah, blah. But then you decide that you want to actually go see what else is out there, and you move. And then when you move, you kind of realize like there are people who are having a completely different experience out there. There are people who like were raised completely differently than you were. And now you've immersed yourself in this world that is so different from the one that you're in. And that new world that you stepped into is going to require a different version of you. That new world that you stepped into now requires aspects of your personality that may have gone dormant, that you might have forgotten about, or that you never even knew existed. When you go out there and you see more and you learn more and you experience more, you kind of do more too. You know what I'm saying? And that is something that I think everyone should experience at some point in their lifetime. So it's like me personally, I moved to New York to get this experience, but somebody who was born and raised in New York their whole life, they won't get this experience until they leave New York and go somewhere else and just go to a different place that's marching to a different beat, different pace, all that. And I will say too, when I was back in my hometown, it was so easy to stay in the box. Like, people's expectations of me, I lived in a small city too, so it's like if you're from a small city, it's a million times worse with these boxes. People's expectations of me, I felt like were something that were conflicting who I actually was, you know what I'm saying? Or people just didn't really understand, what I was doing, where I was coming from. I just could not shake the feeling that people didn't see me as I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, people would just see whatever they wanted to see or whatever they made up in their mind of how I was. And it wasn't until I moved to New York that I was actually able to cultivate who I was into, I was able to bring what I felt in here outside without that extra noise from like people that grew up around you, whether it be family, old classmates, or whatever. People just like to put you in whatever box they're comfortable with putting you in. Whoever you were in middle school, that's who you need to be for the rest of your life, because that's who I'm comfortable around. That's how a lot of people see it. So it's like I had to get away from that. And it wasn't until I got away from that I was able to like really tap into my internal power, like really tap into like all of these traits that I have that like really helped me thrive out here. So it's just like moving to a different place, getting a change of scenery, sometimes it's exactly what you need to clear your headspace. Sometimes it's exactly what you need to get inspired. And my thing is too, a lot of people swear they'll never leave home. A lot of people leave home and they hate it. But my thing is this: home is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? You could go to a different city, you can move around, and you can always come back when it's time for you to settle down. But like, you're gonna come back different. You're gonna come back with all these new insights. You know what I'm saying? That you wouldn't have gotten if you stayed in this city this whole time. How many places? I can't tell you how many people I know. And I'm from, like, I was displaced as a child. Like, I'm originally from one city. I moved to a different city, and it's the same story for both of these places, bro. Like, it's people who have never left the city, who haven't grown, you know. They like plateaued at a certain point, you know. And I'm thinking they just waiting to go see something, waiting to go experience something. Then they can like break through that. But until they leave, they're gonna be doing the same thing every single day. Then they're gonna have kids, and their kids are gonna grow up and do that same thing. Like, it's just like stagnancy. I see it everywhere. I see it all the time. And I was living that. Bro, I was stagnant. I was stagnant for a very long time because of where I was at. I could only do so much, you know. I would do so much and I would get to a point where just like, what now? Because I had to move. I had to go somewhere else. And as soon as I left and I went somewhere else, it was like all the next steps I had to take in my development, in my life, career, finances, whatever. It just kind of opened up very naturally, very organically. And man, one more thing that I realized too, as I've gotten older and I've experienced a little more, when you decide who you want to be, sometimes it's going to require you to make changes, and sometimes it's going to require you to leave a lot behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I decide today I want to carry myself in a specific way, and the way that I've been carrying myself is not adjacent to that at all, it's completely different, and it counters that, I then have to release all of that. I have to then release all of those habits that don't align with what I'm trying to accomplish, who I'm trying to be, where I'm trying to go. A lot of times you got to release a lot of people who help enable you in those poor habits that you've developed. And that is not easy. You know, it's really hard to cut things off like that and change those habits. And you just got to remember that you're doing it for a definite positive cause, you know. Like, this is kind of life or death in a spiritual sense, you know. If you're not growing, you're dead, period. And there's no way around that. So you just got to decide that you got to do what's best for you sometimes. Like, you have to be really selfish in your endeavors when you're trying to break cycles, if that makes sense. Because people are not going to understand until they see you do it. When you start, I don't want to hang out with them no more, I don't want to go this place anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, they're going to take it so personal. They're going to swear it's beef. This person weird, bro. Like, they just switched up on us like it was nothing. They just cut us off like it was nothing. They're not going to see until you produce some fruit out of these sacrifices that you made, that it was for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, what's going to happen is you're going to, A, motivate them to do better. You're going to motivate them to change their ways. Or B, they could possibly begin feeling inadequate, you know? And it could turn into some sort of like disdain for you, like a little animosity. How dare this person level up and leave me here? That's kind of what it feels like. And I've been on both sides of that coin too, so I could definitely see where they come from with that. But at the same time, like I said, you got to be selfish. You got to do what's best for you. Because it's a reason why you can't be in that area no more. It's a reason why you feel sick every time you put yourself in that same environment. It's a reason why you just feel like you want to pull your hair out sometimes, because it's just like, I'm sick of sick of all this. If there's anybody who's watching this and you just feel like you've seen everything that your current environment has to offer, and you kind of see that it's not going nowhere. You feel like you're at that crossroad of, like I mentioned in the previous video, do you want to A, follow your dreams, or B, stay here and conform to whatever roadmap was set out for you? Which to me personally, it sounds like death. Like it's like a spiritual death. Like you gave up on your dreams, you out. You stuck now. Your goal every month is gonna be to pay that rent, and that's it. You only, like, I don't want to live like that. So if it's anybody who's watching this and they feel like that, I definitely encourage you to come up with an escape plan, because that's your spirit telling you that you need to make a move. You know what I mean? And it's so much better for you to make the move yourself than to get to the point where it's like, okay, now you're getting thrusted out there because you're taking too long to like take some initiative. You're gonna end up making it eventually, and you're gonna wish you did it sooner. The time is gonna pass regardless. Some of y'all been wanting to move out y'all city for the past 5 years, and 5 years pass and you still there. That 5 years gonna pass regardless. Do the work today, and you'll be surprised at how quickly everything can unfold for you. So yeah, that's all I have to say in this video. Have a great holiday. Yeah, bro, that's all I gotta say. Have a great day.